Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and Solana, and yes, we are still long. We're going to go over what happened yesterday, because what a day yesterday was. And we'll take a quick look at Avalanche and Ethereum. All right, so starting with Bitcoin, take a look at this move. What a awesome candle. So yesterday we were having a pretty big sell-off. It was pretty heavy, but out of nowhere, a massive buy up started coming through, and we had what we call a fake out. So as I've been saying for the past couple weeks, this trend line, this green trend line, is significant support. It is very important, very powerful. It will take a lot for this to break. Yesterday it was showing serious signs of having a decisive breakdown to where we were likely going to come all the way back down to 36,500 to 37,000, but it did not confirm. That's why you have to be patient, let candles play out, and this one played out showing that the buy up was real, and it brought us back above, well above this support line, and now we're having a continuation day. We'll see if we can have further impulse higher towards my first target zone, about 42,000. That's where I'm looking to close the long. We could see a higher move going towards 43,000 and maybe even 44,000 if we have a really strong spike once we get past 42,000. Okay, once we get to this zone, I will be looking for any signs of exhaustion to either open short or to prepare for a lower move back to 42,000 and possibly back to this trend line here, where eventually this trend line will break. Okay, I was mentioning in the last video that this pattern here that was forming was a bear flag. However, it wasn't fully formed. It was a bit immature. So I did mention that a buy up was possible, more likely than normally it would be, excuse me, than it would if it was a full-fledged bear flag. And that's exactly what occurred. Very nice to see that certain rules apply to crypto as they did to traditional markets, so that makes me feel a lot more confident in reading candles. So if we do have a breakdown, it's going to be the same story that we've been looking at, a move down towards 37,000, 36,000, 38,000, that general box zone here. So we'll keep our eye on for that. This is the most probable path even now, but if we do have a move towards the higher part of this rising wedge towards 44,000 and we break through, we will have a awesome move towards probably 45,000 and maybe even 47,000. The reason why 47,000 will likely be significant, 47,000 to 48,000, is because of this line here. Okay, so this bear flag line here is going to act as resistance towards price going up. All right, just because the pattern played out here doesn't mean this trend line is now irrelevant. It's actually more relevant than it was previously. It means that it has interaction with price action, and believe me, you will find that if price gets there, there will be significant interaction here. Doesn't mean it will immediately fall off from here. What I see happening, if that should happen, we should get to this price, we will likely see a consolidation, a sign of exhaustion here, and I will lean towards a bullish consolidation because the demand to get up here will be pretty high to get back towards 50,000. You heard me. So it's possible we could see another move towards 48,000 to 50,000 if this should happen. Again, not the most probable path, but we must path it. We must look at what may be so that if it happens, we have a plan. We're not shocked. We know exactly what we're doing. By this time, we will not be long. Okay, even though I see this as being possible, I'm not going to hold the position on the hopes of it. We will take our profit at 42,000. We'll bank in the money because we have to respect the midterm pattern is what? Bearish. This is not a bullish structure. We must respect that until proven otherwise. Until proven otherwise. And if it does get back up to this red line, what is that doing? It's just testing the top of this bearish flag formation, right? So we have to make sure we don't forget that. All right. So if you're long with me, we're doing great. We're deep. We're pretty deep in the money, not crazy deep in the money, but we're in a really good spot. I'm very confident that we'll see a rise towards 42,000, especially after yesterday's buy up. But be wary, okay? Just because we had a really nice buy up doesn't mean we won't reverse back down. We are still in a bear structure. So I do want to emphasize that we must stay vigilant and we must stay patient always. All right. So if you're in long with me, be on the lookout for any of my updates, any of my alerts. Let's go over to Solana because we're long that too, and that's been having a great day. Had a very beautiful candle yesterday, beautiful candle, and this is one of my favorite candle patterns. So you can call this a bottoming tail, a morning star. So these sort of candles indicate a bottoming of some sort, and they only play out. Okay, so I've seen some confusion on this. You might see a candle like this in a trend like this, right? So if price is going up a lot, you might see a candle where, okay, it's going up, then it sells off and it gets bought back up in a trend like this. The problem is it's not really a bottoming tail in this sort of scenario. Okay, it's not a bottoming tail. It's not a bearish candle, it's a bullish candle, but it's not a bottoming tail. The bottoming tail pattern only shows up when you have a significant drop, okay, and you're at support. Whether it's minor or major support is another, it changes the probabilities of the success of this candle playing out, but it must happen at support, and the over 50% of the candle needs to have been taken back, or 75% of the candle needs to have been taken back from the sell-off. Okay, so this is a bottoming candle formation right here. This is what you want to see. Of course, my famous drawing skills right here. All right, so you want to see something like this, and this will get invalidated if price comes back down and goes under this wick and closes under this wick. All right. So Solana looking great to continue higher towards my target of 110. I've been aiming for that since we got in. So 110 might see a push towards 113, but I'm going to take profits at 110 and change. Okay, so if you're in the long with me, be on the lookout for that zone. If there's any updates on that, of course, I will update the Discord. But a beautiful play, and this is why you want to respect support. This is, again, make sure you want to respect candles. Wait for them to close. Wait for confirmation. There's no rush. There's really no rush. All right, and we're well in the money with Solana. We're in a much better position percentage-wise with Solana than we are Bitcoin. So I expect that this will have a push higher sooner rather than later, and will likely close out, which will give us even more breathing room on our Bitcoin trade. All right, and let's take a look at Avalanche. Actually, before I go to Avalanche, I do want to mention, if Solana should fail, I've gone over this last video, if it should come back down towards 98, look for it to break down towards this ascending trend line here. All right, that thick black ascending trend line, that is going to likely perform very well as support, and that would be where I would target to add on to the long position. And if you aren't long and you want to add on there, it's not the worst place, but you do want to make sure you look at Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin's showing a significant sell-off that's breaking under major supports, this will not hold. Okay, all right, so let's go to Avalanche now. And Avalanche, again, what did it do? Held the bottom of this pattern. So if in my last recap video, which I urge you to watch, I went over this pattern, and take a look at this, a bearish structure. Okay, and I did mention that this will likely hold unless Bitcoin starts breaking down to the bottom part of that wedge, or towards, back towards the 36 to 38,000 mark, because if this structure breaks for Avalanche, it will likely confirm a move all the way back down to $50, $55 in the coming months. Okay, so this structure must hold for the midterm to remain, bearish until broken through. All right, so this is a very important structure. So it's going to hold here until Bitcoin starts really selling off. All right, and of course, if it breaks higher, which is always possible, it's not probable, it is possible. Let's say it breaks higher, gets all the way to 99 towards the top of the rising wedge or the flag, however you want to describe the pattern, to $110, let's say, then you're going to see a pretty significant move, probably all the way up to $127, $130. So this is a great pattern, but you want to have a bearish bias on it because it is bearish. All right. And in all seriousness too, it'll get back to $50, $53 if this plays out, but likely lower. Okay, so prepare yourself for that. It will likely be lower. And let's take a quick look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, so far, very pretty bottoming candle here. Ethereum is somewhat underperforming compared percentage-wise compared to other altcoins and Bitcoin. Not too surprised, since this run-up was a lot more pronounced at the time compared to the other coins. But again, holding support. I do see on the next impulse to come higher towards 3250 in that ballpark. One of the reasons why it'll be hard for it to get through is because, look, it's gonna start intersecting with the bear flag, the bottom of this bear flag, and that'll be around 3250, maybe 3300. Okay, so once you get there, I would expect some sort of exhaustion, some sort of pause, whether it's just a small retrace back down to go higher towards 3400, or it could be a reversal time and come all the way back down and maybe even start breaking lower. Again, that'll be pretty dependent on Bitcoin as well, but 3300 to 3250 is where I'm seeing Ethereum having some stall out time, and we want to watch for that. It might be a great place to open short. The only thing that will hold me back is if it gets there slowly. I would like for it to have impulses higher, so I would aim anywhere from 3400 or higher to possibly start opening up shorts. As close to this red line as I could get would make me very comfortable opening up shorts and starting to build out a larger short position on Ethereum. And that goes for Avalanche and Bitcoin as well. I would love to be able to start aiming to open up shorts around these levels here, and maybe even here, around $90 if I'm confident that Bitcoin will break under. I just want to get to as close as I can to the top of this pattern, this overall structure, as my entry as I can, right? So I would like to do an average entry to say 90, then we do another one at 98, and then another one at 110. My average entry will probably be somewhere around 100 to 104, depending on my percentage, distribution between these three positions. So my whole goal would be trying to get my average entry as high up here as I possibly can, with as little risk as possible. So in my opinion, as I've been showing you all, as you've been following me, the best way is to do a DCA sort of strategy, laddering in your positions as a way to control your risk, and then also calculate your average entry if all of your positions get hit. Okay, and one of the ways you can calculate is, let's just say you do $90, then you do $100, and then 110. You would just do 90 plus 100 plus 110 divided by 3, and then you get your average entry. So you always divide by the number of entries you have. Okay, so in case you didn't know how to calculate that, that's how you do it. The calculation will change a little if you change the percentages of your calculation of your add-ons, right? So if, let's say you did 1% here, and then you did 1% here, so 1%, 1%, that's 2% total, and then you did 4% here. Well, your average entry is going to be a bit higher than it would be if you just did an even distribution of percentages. Okay, so if you wanted to know how I do that, that's how I generally do it. All right. That's why I'm letting this information out for free, because it's actually it's simple information. It's something that I believe every trader should know, whether you're in my group as a paid member or not. I don't think it's really worth gatekeeping this information. However, if you want to learn like really advanced stuff, in the sense stuff that has really high probabilities to succeed, like well, I'm not going to go into certain things regarding candle, the number of candles, trending candles, how to actually read them correctly. It's so incorrect how they're being taught. That I do, gatekeep. That I do put up behind a price wall, because I'm gonna have to teach it to you, and I need you to have skin in the game to really want to learn it. If I give it to you for free, oftentimes I find the information gets taken for granted, and it's information that gives me the 80 to 90% win rate I've been displaying on the Discord. So I do want to make sure that if you do pay for the service, I give you something. Again, it's not proprietary to me, but it's just not taught correctly on like an open platform like YouTube. All right, so I think that's it for today. I don't want to go too far into this video. I am playing another video today for specific coins and a stock, or a couple stocks, because I've been suggested a few. So you'll get another video out of me today. So everyone, make sure to have a great week. If you need anything, if you have to just talk to me, you can always DM me. I can't promise I'll get right back to you. I do have I'm somewhat busy, and I do get a lot of messages, more than even I expect. But I will always get to you. Just give me some time. And if you have any questions about my services, feel free to ask me or anyone else that might be that's in the Discord that's willing to talk to you about it. And yeah, all right. Oh, and also if you want to share this with anyone, please do so. Please do so. I try to do free call outs. So if you're just looking for something like maybe 1 to 3 months where you might get a stock or a crypto to play long or short, well, I give that out for free, once a week. And it's once a week, but only once one is closed, if that makes sense, right? So if I give you a call out for Bitcoin, which I did, I believe, I won't give you another one next week until that Bitcoin trade is closed. Okay? All right. So everyone, remember, be vigilant, be patient, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.